Hello, everyone. Welcome to Divine Discussions. I'm Joel Anastasi with Channel Philip Collins.
Hello, everybody.
Each week, Philip channels a divine entity from the higher realms, and they usually come in with a teaching, and then I follow up with some questions. And we never know who's going to be showing up. Do you have anything you want to add, Philip?
No, I'm just going to go into trance and see what's happening in these wonderful, shifting, and challenging times.
Good.
Greetings, beloved humanity. We come to you from Mother Gaia in concert with Adama in the inner earth civilizations. The inner earth civilizations are so close to the heart of your mother, Gaia, your mother earth. And we are in a time of transition and shifting, which is affecting humanity and your evolutionary path into the golden age of Gaia. The golden age of Gaia, the final permanent golden age, connected to we, connected to source, connected to all that there is, so that your lack and limitation, your suffering, your duality, your separation, your confrontation may end. How does that sound, beloved children? To know that there is an end time in place. There was a time upon my body when all of our continents were joined together. A great union, a great united landmass, which reflected the consciousness and the unity of the civilizations that were on my body at that time. And then those land masses began to separate, and they became what you are experiencing today in your geography. But dear ones, what is happening in the return of this golden age of Gaia, this final golden age, is that the land masses are beginning to reverse themselves and join together again. Your geologists are aware of this, that your continents are heading towards one another and will join. And there will be upheaval, there will be transformation, there will be transition as that happens. And that transition and that transformation is happening within your bodies, your human bodies, your physical, your mental, and emotional bodies as well, dear ones. There is so much going on in your world today that we would like to discuss, and then go into a question and answer session with you, which allows an integration of our teaching. It is a process of the self, moving from your narcissism, moving from your separation, moving from your selfishness, if you will, and what has been called oneness and we consciousness, moving from the me to the we, as the archangelic realm of Michael is teaching you so beautifully. So here Adama and we are joined together to remind you to be accepting and compassionate where each and every one of you are along this path. Some are choosing this golden age, being guided by fifth dimensional frequencies and energies such as ourselves. And some are choosing to stay right where they are, dear ones. And many of your current events, your geological events and your weather events are reflecting their need to stay where they are. For in the end, dear one, it will not matter. For in the end, you will all end up in the same destination of oneness, or you will not be on this particular planet. You will be given a choice, through your freedom of choice and freedom of will, to continue your incarnational cycles as you will. Your cycles of so-called death, dear ones, is a wonderful reflection of where you are. that you have had to repeat cycles, to repeatedly come back and learn what you did not learn in the last embodiment on my body, the last embodiment on my body. And now, when that is able to end, which is the gift that is being given you, you will be connected to Source, you will be connected to all that is, you will be connected to the consciousness of Mother Gaia, the inner earth civilizations extended throughout your solar system, extended out through your galaxy, and extended out into the universe at large. The narcissism, the arrogance, the ignorance, if you will, of the human mind believing or thinking that you are the only life force within your solar system, your galaxy, or your universe is naive, dear ones. It is through the connection of the coming together of all of these civilizations, some far more advanced than you are, some behind you, that will enable your awakening. For once you are connected to all that there is through what is called your I Am Presence, your higher self, you will then begin your service to all that there is. Dear ones, you cannot accomplish the ascension process by yourselves. You simply cannot. The process will be done in concert with we fifth dimensional energies, loving you unconditionally beyond your ability to love yourselves at this time. The connection to these fifth dimensional frequencies and beyond are the frequencies which guided, support, and maintained and sustained your golden ages in the past, which ended because of their disconnect to this wisdom, and now you are being given the blueprint, the soul plan, if you will, to be permanently connected to all that there is, so that this final golden age of Gaia, this final golden age of your planet returning to light, thus in turn everything within and upon our body is in place. What a glorious time it is. And only through your doubt and fear and ignorance of this process can you once again impede it individually. But you cannot impede it collectively, for you are destined for this to go forward. So those who have chosen not to go forward, to continue to be in duality and confrontation, it is important that you light workers and way showers join together in communities of harmony, equality, and balance to define your needs and to set your boundaries for those who are choosing not to go forward. You simply do not need to resist them, you simply need to be collectively connected together. We hope that makes sense, and we hope and intend that the communities that you will create connected to we in the fifth dimensional frequencies, whether it be we in the inner earth, the archangelic, the intergalactic, the star systems that seed your planet, and the parallel universes reflecting into your universe, all of these will come together into a mighty I Am mass ascended consciousness. A mass ascended consciousness, dear ones. So let us take a moment now to open to your questions and how we may respond that will allow you to further integrate our opening statements. How may we help you, dear ones?
Mother Gaia, Adama, and the inner earth. Wow, we are so honored by your presence. Thank you.
We have been hidden a long time from you, dear ones. Many of us walked upon your earth on the surface of Mother Gaia, and now it is the time to you directly know that we are present.
Mother Gaia, could you explain something to, the idea that Gaia Earth is a living being with living consciousness is so foreign to most of humanity, of course, and as you already know. What can you tell us about that to help people understand what that means?
As soon as you know it within yourselves, dear one, that you are a conscious being of light, then you will know it of we. Stop and think about it. You pull resources from my body constantly. You negate that the planet is a reflection of yourself, of the interconnectivity of us, that you and we are living and conscious, and we have organs. You have organs. The earth has organs, the minerals, the water, the air, the electromagnetic field. This naivete, this hidden truth of exactly the structure of your world is coming to an end. That would allow you to be more responsible and reduce the consequences of not being responsible of the planet, being your mother. Look what you have done with the feminine energy, who are your mothers. You have subjugated this energy as a reflection of how you have subjugated your Mother Earth. Thus you're beginning to understand the deeper meaning of equality and harmony, of the balance of the masculine and the feminine. It is a core issue in all of the imbalances and the selfishness and the cruelty in your world today towards we of Mother Earth and yourselves. Does that help you, dear ones?
It does. Since my consciousness has been raised about the fact that Gaia is the living being, I'm lucky enough to be near a beautiful beach, and I walk along it almost every day now. And it's so easy to celebrate your beauty, and it makes it even more painful to contemplate the violence you're talking about, how we assault the earth, how we pollute the air, the water, the land. It's such a grievous thing, and we who think of ourselves as being light workers and way showers are all feeling this pain. What can we do to kind of stop this assault on you?
When you walk along that beach, dear one, you're actually connecting to the megahertz vibration of the planet, which assists the very pulsing of your heart, dear ones. And if you will simply stop and connect the beat of your heart with a megahertz frequency of the earth through the ocean, for the water is a conduit of that vibration to you, you will begin to see our connection. You will begin to see our body as your body, and that your body being an extension of the earth, of Mother Gaia, for you are molecularly, structurally made of the same components. And the interconnection between humanity and the planet are inseparable, dear ones. For when you go out into other solar systems and other galaxies, you will see a different configuration of planet to humanity and structure and molecular composition. As many diversified life forms as you can possibly imagine. You get some inklings of them in your earth now as you go into the deep waters of the higher skies of this particular planet. Does that help you, dear one?
Yes, I have some sense of that diversity. I was just watching a documentary called The Blue Planet last night, and the incredible variety of images of sea life that I couldn't begin to imagine. It was extraordinary.
Dear ones, there are more life forms on your planet undiscovered than discovered.
My fear is that we're killing them off before we can even discover them.
That will not take place. It is not the destiny of this planet for you, humanity at large, to allow the destruction. There are life forms on my body that are choosing to go and return to their original planets and solar systems and galaxies of origin. But all of these have been uniquely essential to the evolutionary path of the planet and humanity, as each and every one of you is uniquely necessary for the progression of the planet and humanity, dear one.
You created an incredible image in my own mind when you talked about the separation of the continents seeming to reflect this separation of consciousness of mankind. That was quite a powerful visual.
That's the reason that we have brought that forward. You're beginning through your sciences to realize some of the history of the planet, how the continents were joined together, and now through your scientific measuring tools, you're able to begin to understand and to believe and to know that the planets are returning to a large landmass, dear ones, which is reflective of the evolutionary blueprint ascension process of this planet. Every planet, dear one, goes through an evolutionary path, not unlike the one that you're going through. And the time comes in the moment of history of the now of that planet that they too will ascend. And the vehicle to that ascension is love, dear ones. It is love of self radiating out to love of planet, love of one another, and love of the cosmos at large, dear one. Love is the tool that will bring you forward.
I don't think mankind's science is aware that man was even on this planet when all the continents were joined. That was many hundreds of millions of years ago, I'm assuming.
Indeed, dear ones. And far beyond that, this is an ancient being, an ancient source of love, a love of versity, if you will, reflecting out throughout the cosmos. For so many entities and star systems came together to create this divine planet called Earth, called Gaia. And we are all waiting in bliss and joy for your awakening to this truth of what a divine experiment that this planet has been, a blue-green ball of love reflecting out into the cosmos, dear ones.
You said that the continents are returning back to reconnecting again. Now, hopefully it's not going to take that long for mankind's consciousness to reconnect as it took to separate the continents in the first place.
The energy of that, the electromagnetic forces within the planet and being affected outside the planet are in process. And it will be an individual decision that each person makes as to when that takes place. You are experiencing in your current events now those who are choosing to continue to destroy one another through war, through acts of violence. And that is where they are. They are staying in this wounded child, this wounded cocoon of betrayal and abandonment, choosing not to awaken to a tool of a personal process to free themselves from these wounds, to move into an ascension process with the assistance of the fifth dimensional frequencies, dear one. This is very clear. Do you understand?
I do. We're experiencing, of course, that violence you're referring to is occurring all over the world. We've had, in our own country, in the United States, of course, we just had the incident the other day with the Boston Marathon, that horrible violence, and of course, all of this battle going on with the NRA and so-called right to bear arms and so on, it all feeding into this, in my view, this consciousness of separation, violence, and intimidation.
This consciousness of me, this consciousness of the wounded me, for whatever the myriad of reasons of past and present lives for that wounding, and making a conscious or unconscious decision to stay there, to be there, as opposed to those who are awakening and wishing to heal those components and taking ownership of those. But there are forces within your planet that have attempted to control parts of humanity, to keep them dumbed down, if you will, and not to labor upon the drama of that. But there are some people stuck in the astral, fourth dimensional aspects of these entities through addiction, through mental control, through an RNA and DNA control. But with the awakening of the expanded chakra systems, 8 through 12, and the awakening of your spiritual DNA, those forces will no longer be able to control these individuals or the portions of humanity that they have. The cabal, the Illuminati, the hidden forces that are now being revealed. It is their last hurrah, for they know that many of you light workers and way showers know the truth. So they attempt to create events which are in your current events constantly to distract you, to impede you, to frighten you from your ascension process, dear one. Does that help you?
It does. We've been hearing about this last hurrah of the dark forces for quite some time. And of course, many of us are saying, so when is it over? When is the last hurrah done? I realize it's a process, but what can you say to those who are asking that question?
It's over the minute you decide for it to be over, dear one. It's over in the now. For it is the mental body and the addiction of the mental body and the altered ego within the mental body that wants to know when. Move into your heart space, take a deep breath, and know that can be now if you simply make the decision now to be in peace, to be in love, to be in unity, to be in the we, dear ones. It is now. It always has been.
So that's what we have to do. That's
What you have to be, dear ones.
That's what we have to be. And that's the message today, isn't it?
Indeed. Indeed. The abuse of my body is over. The timeline has ended. We have been patient long enough in your freedom of choice and freedom of will. We will not and cannot allow the destruction of our body. The Atlanteans attempted it, and their civilization was ended prior to their ability to do so, dear ones. Take heed. Many of your activities and your altering of genes and DNA and abuse of your home, your planet, are reflections of that assertive Atlantean energy rearing its head one more time, dear ones.
Well, that issue that you're raising about genetic modification is becoming a huge issue around the world through our crops and experiments with animals and God, maybe even within the people that we don't even know about. Could you just make another statement about that?
Humanity, you do not own the creation of God.
So we're going to create the disaster that Atlantis did if we continue it.
It's a possibility. So what do you choose through your freedom of choice and freedom of will, dear ones? A world of continued separation and confrontation and the insanity of wars which don't work? Or to open your hearts, to think with your hearts, to become conscious beings of light and celebrate who you truly are.
Well, thank you so much for visiting us today. Is there anything you'd like to say, but that you haven't already said so beautifully?
To remember that we are intrinsically connected. Your Mother Gaia, your planet, your home, humanity, the inner earth civilizations, your solar system, your galaxy, your universe. And stay tuned for the openness and the revelation and the revealing of this miraculous truth.